And the first topic today is one I read about a couple of weeks back and over the weekend as well. The more I read about it, the more I'm thinking, hold on, this is actually quite big. Now, it started off a little bit sort of crazy and a bit weird, but it's now becoming really quite serious. Because the reason for that is that Mark Zuckerberg over at Facebook announced over the weekend, or Facebook announcing, they probably use Nick Clegg because he's kind of like their vocal person, who's the chap, isn't it, they use at the front. But the point is, though, that they've announced that they're investing in 10,000 jobs in Europe, the European Union, over the next 5 years in order to develop what they call the Metaverse. Now, isn't that crazy, isn't it? Now, it's a forward-thinking thing, and as a mortgage advisor in the third decade of the 21st century, you need to be thinking virtual. You need to be thinking about the virtual online environment in which you talk to customers. And we know all these things, don't we? So the trends are there, of course, for this like crazy change in the way it's going on. And this thing from Facebook is important because they don't want to lose their market share. Zuckerberg thinks there's other companies coming in taking their market share away of social media. So he wants to create this thing called the Metaverse, which is a kind of a non-owned three-dimensional place where people go online and appear virtually. Now, you might think it's a bit weird, a bit crazy, but let me explain a bit more. It comes from a book by a guy called Neil Stephenson called Snow Crash. Jolly good book, 1993, I think 92, in which he creates a character who has a real world existence. But on an evening, he goes into this virtual world called the Metaverse. And the idea is you inhabit and create virtual or avatars in which to populate this other world, which is similar to the real world, but obviously it's not real. And this guy, he does inane things like have conversations with people, and he does some crazy stuff too. So that's where it's come from. So that's obviously science fiction, isn't it? But let's get beyond the sci-fi and all that stuff and start to think, hold on, could this pan out and would this be valuable for us as mortgage advisors? Now, if you think about it, it's a bit like Zoom on steroids, I like to call it, really. It's three-dimensional and it's real. So just think about this Metaverse. What could you do as a mortgage advisor? Well, one, you could have your virtual meetings with clients, just like you're in a room together. That's the thing. It's not like Zoom, which is two-dimensional with a head and shoulders. It's just like you're in a room together talking to a customer. You could have training sessions with colleagues as though you're in a boardroom somewhere. You could run seminars to prospective clients as though you're in a plush hotel room somewhere. You could liaise with colleagues who may be based in South Africa or in Indonesia. You could do these things as though it were real. So that's getting away from the science fiction side and making it real. Of course, it looks like a wild future. Of course it does. Gotta be foolish if you didn't think that. But then again, look back. Zoom meetings 15 years ago would seem a bit wild, wouldn't they? Where we just commonly just click the button and go online with customers and people from around the country, around the world. And the other one is people watch TV screens now, 60, 70-inch screens above their fireplaces, flat screen embedded into the wall, HD images of Premiership football matches. Who'd have thought that 20 years ago? Things change all the time. And the call to action for you as a mortgage advisor is if you are forward thinking, if you are a modern mortgage advisor and you want to relate to modern customers moving forward, then do embrace the digital now. Embrace the digital, create your sales process around a virtual digital contact with clients. Embrace it, talk to clients about it, encourage them to use the visual, the video in order to talk to each other to process the mortgage. Get used to handling clients that way, dealing with lenders as well, BDMs via the virtual means. Take your training via virtual as well. Do some training via the video rather than going into a hotel room or some boring old room where you got mints and cordials and things like that in the room. You don't have to do that anymore. Get ready for the Metaverse. It will be with us in 5 to 10 years. It'll change everything. The reason it's changing is because there's a lot of dollars being invested in it right now. And these things, money just makes things happen, doesn't it, in this world? Always has done, always will do. Money is the king. And there's a lot of dollars going into this for various means. So as mortgage advisors, I think we need to embrace it. Get ready for it. It will change everything.